Georgia grad Will Muschamp is in his second year as the head coach of Florida. He leads his team into Jacksonville. Mark Richt is in his 12th year as the head coach of the Bulldogs. He's been through this annual battle before. It's a renewal of the get-together between Florida and Georgia, and a quick look at the SEC standings. Pretty easy to figure out this one. If Florida wins, they cinch the East. They'll be in Atlanta. If Georgia wins, they control their own destiny, and they can earn a repeat to Atlanta if they win out. Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. Interesting, Gary. Two teams having successful years, but such a contrast in the perception of each.
I think you got it. It sounds like both are doing very well, but if you ask the fan base, Florida seems like the clutch team. They come through. They seem like overachievers. I think when you look at Georgia, you look at an immensely talented team, quarterback, wide receiver, but their defense, if you ask me, I think it's the most underachieving group of players in this conference this year, and they're still in position to win.
Well, that has been a disruptive topic in Athens this week. For more on that, let's go down to Tracy Wilson.
That's right. This Georgia defense needs a wake-up call, and senior safety Sean Williams was hoping to provide just that when he called out his teammates on Monday. He said, we've just got to stop playing so soft. It's frustrating because I'm sitting here giving it all I've got, and I feel like we've got some guys in a whole different place. Williams said he's got something in mind if they don't turn things around. He said, I'm trying to see if I need to take somebody's helmet off and slap them to see what's going on. We're not playing with any emotion right now, and guys, could this just be the spark that Georgia needs?
Vern, I think it better be. I mean, they have to step up today. They have a chance to get into the championship game, control their own destiny. Their defense has to show up.
Do you think they will?
I really do. I think they've got enough good players. I think if Florida's going to beat them, they're going to have to beat Georgia at their best, and they're immensely talented on defense. But you know it's going to come back to their quarterback. Aaron Murray has to show up in this football game. He has not had a great record against top 10 teams. He's got two freshman running backs. I think it's time for a veteran quarterback to lead his team.
Florida Gators undefeated for the year. Surprisingly, I think for most, they can get to Atlanta with a win here. Are they doing it with smoke and mirrors, or are they very talented?
You know, they don't have the superstar, Vern, that you can talk about like a Jadeveon Clowney, but what they have is a lot of immensely talented football players that are playing at the top of their football game. On defense, they do everything well. On offense, they've got a lot of weapons, but I think in this league, your quarterback has to come through. I've been saying sooner or later, Jeff Driscoll's going to have to use something other than his legs to win the game. Could this be the week he has to throw the football?
Well, the weather could be a factor. We've been brushed from winds from Hurricane Sandy, but at least for the moment, it appears no rain. If we do have the wind, it favors whom?
I think Will Muschamp's got a big smile on his face if it's windy and rainy, to tell you the truth.
All right, kickoff. They played every year here in Jacksonville since 1933, except for 2 games. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Progressive, AT&T, Chick-fil-A, and by LG. And we welcome you back to Jacksonville, Florida, the Home Depot SEC on CBS. And this annual get-together between the Gators from Gainesville and the Dogs from Athens. Florida comes in 7-0. Georgia, one hiccup. They lost badly in South Carolina, but they got a mulligan when the Gators beat South Carolina last week. Sellout crowd of 82,000 here. And as the two teams came running on the field, something that we have seen in previous years, a little scuffle over at the right side of the screen. Sharif Floyd, number 73.
I think Xavier Nixon, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Either was. It was either Nixon or Floyd, one of the two. They both have the same number. You know, from the stakes, since I've been doing it, this 2006 till now, this is the highest stakes game for both teams that I've ever been involved in this game.
Well, in a sense, it is a championship game. Will Muschamp discussing that little scuffle, kerfuffle. Georgia leads the all-time series 48-40-2. There is one game in dispute. If you follow these two teams, you know about this. Georgia claims a victory in 1904 in a game played in Macon. Florida says, wait a minute. We didn't start playing football until 1906.
Vern, you did mention the wind. I mean, it is on your screen left to right, the strong wind here. And Florida will be going downwind from the first quarter.
Georgia won the toss. They have deferred the option to the second half. And Jamie Lindley will kick off for the Bulldogs. Trey DeBose is the deep man, and we'll get an early sense of how the wind is affecting play. Trey Burton is up at the 10-yard line. Fine kick. DeBose 2 yards in. Boom. Costa Boblis, who is a special teams star, number 38 for the Bulldogs.
And kind of our theme this year, because of the higher kickoffs, the players are getting down there a little faster because they're closer to that goal line. When you take it out of the end zone, they have been not getting it to the 20 much.
Well, let's introduce you to the lineups presented by Chick-fil-A. Starting quarterback now in his sophomore season, Jeff Driscoll. He has thrown for fewer than 100 yards in each of the last 3 games, each of them a victory.
Oh, man, look at that.
How about that? Well, that's a direct contrast to how last week's game began.
That was almost a disaster, wasn't it? Last week, the first game, Purifoy gets the fumble. This time, miscommunication from Gillisley and the quarterback, and Driscoll does a good job of reaching back and seeing the ball because he could have assumed that Gillisley had the ball.
Loss of 7. Gillisley, top of the screen, empty backfield. Driscoll, push defensively, nice pass. That's Trey Burton, number 8. You'll see him in the Wildcat. Receiver as well. And the remainder of the Florida offense, Nixon, Wilson, Harrison, Halapio, and Green, the offensive line. Hammond, Jordan Reed has been a real feature for them. Joyer, the fullback. Gillisley, Quentin Dunbar is the other wideout. 3rd down, 8.
Well, you saw a big message even on 2nd down, letting Driscoll throw that ball early in the football game. I assume he's going to throw it again on 3rd down here.
Blitz, Driscoll. Kenzie lets it go, could be intercepted, doesn't. It'll be 4th down.
Boy, Damian Swan, wasn't it? Was it intercepted?
My goodness, they're ruling that it was. Damian Swan.
Came off the edge.
Yes.
No, let's see if Ogletree didn't get a 15-yard penalty. Coming from the left side, right there, that's going to be the on-block player. The whole way, either a misread. Did it bounce, though? Did that ball hit the ground?
Yes, it did.
They're ruling it a fumble right now. This will be reviewed. Jarvis Jones ended up with the football. Remember, they're ruling it a fumble. It's very close.
Sure is.
Very close. Ball did hit the ground. Ruled a fumble. Ruled recovered by Georgia. Oh, that's going to be a fumble. That's the right call. I think his hand was coming up forward empty on the play. Yes, it is. And you know, Florida has only had 4 turnovers all year coming into this game. And I think the biggest series of the year was following a turnover, ironically, when they stopped LSU on a Jeff Driscoll fumble early in the year, held LSU to a field goal instead of a touchdown, remained in the game. Can the Florida defense do it again?
Rocky Good is the replay official. Matt Moore is the referee.
Remember that game, it would have been LSU up by 10 and might have forced Florida into a passing game. They had already been sacked 5 times at that point.
And there is a flag.
Yeah, it was after. I thought it was Ogletree. Or both sides, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the ball went forward, but I don't think he had it. I agree with the call on the field.
Multiple dead balls on the play. The result of the play was a fumble that was recovered by Georgia. That play is going to be under further review. However, we have a dead ball, personal foul, number 9 on Georgia. We've got a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, number 73 on Florida. Those penalties are all set. We're going to review the previous play.
Remember that, I mean, they haven't even started reviewing yet? We're already done. In my humble opinion, it's a fumble.
I would expect that it has been under constant review since the play occurred.
And it was Xavier Nixon and Ogletree that got dead ball calls against them.
Now, Jarvis Jones recovered the fumble.
And remember also, Vern, it was a misread by Driscoll to set up the play. A corner or a star inside, they call it a star player, when a defensive back lines up as linebacker, blitzes off the edge. He did not pick it up.
What a start. And I think we're about ready.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Nixon and Ogletree offsetting penalties after the fumble had been recovered.
Xavier Nixon on the left side right there sees Ogletree get shoved into him. Actually, it was Jonathan Harrison, number 72.
Yeah, they were not in the
competition. They're jawing each other. Now, let's see if anything else.
After the fumble, first down 10. Gurley bounces to the outside. Matt Elam says not any farther. And the fullback, Merritt Hall, limps off at the conclusion of the play. Number 43.
Well, all the talk prior to the game was the Georgia defense. They came through, and Aaron Murray, he has a chance to come through.
Second down 10. Murray pumps, finds his receiver. That's Alexander Ogletree, one of the two Ogletree brothers. And now Chick-fil-A presents the Georgia offense. Aaron Murray has already graduated, pursuing a master's degree, 16 passing touchdowns. And it's first and goal. Georgia. Gurley. Flag is down. Gurley's in the end zone. Let's see if the play stands.
That was a great cutback by Gurley. Inside block, great cutback, another great cutback at the end, slashing into the end zone.
Offside. On the defense. Penalty with the time. Touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 3 of Georgia. That penalty enforced on the kickoff.
So it does appear that Florida lined up offsides on the play. The flag was thrown right at the snap.
Now, Matt Moore didn't say it. I'm guessing excessive celebration in the end zone. And so the extra point attempt, Marshall Morgan, he's been an adventure at this position.
He's missed 4?
He's missed 4 this year.
We're used to a little bigger excessive celebration than that, though, in this game, right?
That's right. This one right down the pipe. Gurley with the touchdown after Jarvis Jones' fumble recovery.
Well, that was a good job blocked by that offensive line this time. This is the key block by Ogletree coming across that time. In the slot, watch Ogletree come across, get the block on McCray that time, and then Gurley makes 2 great cuts into the end zone, and the Gators, that's what did it. The Gator signal.
Well, he's only a freshman, but he has learned the chomp. 3 lost fumbles for the Gators on the season, 2 fumbles on his opening possession.
Yeah, sloppy. You know, last week it was South Carolina. Florida has taken care of the football all year, but that was as much a mental mistake on that 3rd down fumble as a physical play by Georgia. But you can see Georgia has decided to be aggressive. I think Todd Grantham is very smart. His players are keyed up from what Sean Williams said. He's taken advantage of that emotion and coming with an aggressive package.
Now the kickoff after the excessive celebration penalty on Todd Gurley will come from the 20-yard line. Andre DuBose has moved up near the 13, and keep in mind they are kicking into the wind. Jamie Lindley again will kick off for Georgia after they reset the ball.
Florida has dodged an early turnover like that early in the year, too. The first play against Tennessee, they ran a reverse, dropped the ball in the 1-yard line, only Florida recovered it. This time they didn't dodge it.
DuBose grabs it at the 20. Ouch again. This time Dawson Sheldon, number 2, compliments the earlier effort of Boblis. Ouch.
As Mark Rick told us on the phone, after the outburst by Sean Williams, he said Tuesday's practice was not for the faint of heart. He said we had 2 concussions on Tuesday, and if you didn't want to hit, you shouldn't have been out there because everybody was hitting everybody.
There's Sean Williams. After he read his quotes in the paper, he called Mark Richt, and he said that is not really the tenor in which I meant the comments. He asked to speak to the team, which he did Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that one, Mike Gillisley, stopped by Alec Ogletree. Defensively now, 4. Georgia. Garrison Smith gets the start for Avery Jones, out with an injury. Jenkins in the middle. He's been a force this year. Washington, Chase Vassar on the outside. Herrera, Ogletree, and Jarvis Jones, who's missed 2 full games this year with injuries. And the secondary Cummings, Sean Williams, Bakari Rambo, and Damian Swan. Gillisley heads left. Met and driven down. It's Ogletree again.
Well, something had to pop for Georgia. I mean, he was either going to be a player or a coach or something. When you go 3 straight games. Now, remember, I thought this was one of the elite defenses in this league, perhaps in college football coming into this season. But if you go Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, you give up 633 yards rushing, a 211-yard average. Somebody needs to say something. And then after that, you have to react to it and play some football.
3rd down 6.
Remember last time it was a blitz off the corner.
Timeout, Florida. Third down 6, 10:26 remaining first quarter. That's Dunbar in motion. Here comes the blitz on the corner. Flag is thrown.
Full start. Offense. Number 73. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, it's pretty obvious in this football game so far that the tight football team here is the Florida Gators. They're making mistakes. This time Jarvis Jones is going to drop back. He calls the penalty as he drops right there. Did you see that?
Yeah. Xavier Nixon was the man who moved.
And that was another aggressive call by Todd Grantham. He came with the slot blitz again on 3rd and medium.
Trey Burton in the slot right.
Again.
Blitz again. Pass is complete. Jordan Reed, the tight end. And Florida gets the first down after the gain of 13.
One of the most gifted players in this league is number 11, Jordan Reed for Florida. This time the blitz is handled by Florida. Takes a little bit too long for the slot to get to the quarterback. He tried to disguise it too much. And Jeff Driscoll steps right into it. And Jordan Reed, you know, as much as we talk about the quarterback injuries a year ago, not having Jordan Reed a year ago really hurt Florida. He's healthy and he's a weapon.
2 touchdowns in last week's win over South Carolina. Draw play Gillisley. There's a hole at the line of scrimmage. And he cuts through and is tackled by Bakari Rambo, number 18. Now, Gillisley has been held in check the last 2 games. We saw him run for 146 in the win over LSU. 2nd down 6. And they'll feed Gillisley the ball again. John Jenkins, Jarvis Jones. Jones with injuries that caused him to miss 2 games. He didn't practice at all last week, but he was able to go through the entire week's practice now.
This was the zone read by Driscoll on that last play. The defensive end, outside linebacker, kind of went a little bit quick on the play. Got to stay with the quarterback. Watch this. Ooh, Driscoll's looking at that. Brent Peace is looking at that. See if they don't dial it later.
3rd and 3. That was a designed run, and Driscoll is caught short. Garrison Smith, who's getting the start in place of the injured Avery Jones.
That felt like a 4-down territory call here. That Muschamp may go for it anyway. A little bit of a delay. Handled. Let's see if he goes field goal or stays with on 4th down. I'm at least going to try to draw him off sides, aren't they?
Yeah.
At least.
Caleb Sturgis, the field goal kicker, is in the midst of a really fine year. 12 of 14, but let's see what
Tommy Gathers and John Jenkins are in there. Like 700 pounds of beef.
4th and 1, Patton on the sweep.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Sean Williams, I think,
yes, it
stopped
was.
in short.
Well, that was a really interesting call for the Florida Gators to try to finesse this 4th and inches. Sean Williams takes it out, gets away from the block by Jordan Reed, plays it off, and makes the tackle. Boy, when you talk, you better be able to play. And he stepped and did it. Sheds the block by Jordan Reed, and then makes the necktie tackle.
Well, obviously an emotional young player because of the outburst on Monday, and shows his emotions after the play. Xavier Nixon hobbled and limping off.
I think Patton's down too, isn't he?
Yes.
That call spoke volumes, though, too. Very short yardage. Florida's run it. They go empty on 4th down. Try to finesse the play. Patton outruns one defender, but not the second one. And that's not a horse collar either. I don't think he got the face mask either.
So the wide receiver, Solomon Patton, still down. Sean Williams.
The word to me so far from Georgia has been aggressive. The play calling on defense has been aggressive. The tackling on special teams has been aggressive. At least to start this quarter, they have been shocked into saying we got to play better football. Long football game, though.
Well, the training staff. Let's see if we can determine what happened to Nixon, middle of the screen here.
Well, Harrison had a cheap shot on the back. Actually, it was Harrison's cheap shot that knocked the defender into his own player. Jonathan Harrison blocks Jordan Jenkins into Xavier Nixon. Now, the officials did not see the shot by Jonathan Harrison from behind, but it was clearly way behind the play, and it ended up getting his own guy. Watch number 72. Let's see if we can stick with him for a while. Plays relatively over. Now watch, right down there, blocked into Nixon. And remember, they passed up a 53-yard field goal. I don't argue with that, but I do, wonder. I mean, they've played physical football all year, and I've been, just singing the praises of Brent Pease. But that one was, when it doesn't work, you go, "Oh, coach." That's the way it goes. We've all been there.
Sean Williams with the big play, and now at long last the measurement, and whoa.
Did he make it? Wow, that was inches, wasn't it?
It sure was.
Boy, Florida's still arguing. Will thinks it's a first down. That was inches away. And Patton obviously going off the field. Now remember, we all know this, the yellow line approximates. And
I must say, I think Florida got a favorable spot.
I thought so too, to tell you the truth.
That's a look of incredulity from Muschamp. The attempt for the first down on fourth down. The handoff to the wide receiver, Solomon Patton. Measurement came up short. And Georgia takes over, leading 7-0. It's been a lengthy first half of the first quarter. Murray to throw. Caught. Malcolm Mitchell, number 26. Tackle made by Josh Evans. Mitchell, who had 3 starts in the defensive backfield because of the suspension of 4 starters defensively for the first 4 games. And then once they came back, those 4, Ogletree, Rambo among them, he moved back to the offensive side of the ball. 2nd and 5. Murray again complete. Mitchell again complete. And the jawing continues. Offensively for Georgia, Gates, Lee, Andrews, Burnett, and the freshman John Theus. Wide receivers, Brown, Mitchell. Gurley in the backfield with Lynch and Tavares King, number 12.
Mike Bobo and Georgia likes this 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 running back formation against Florida.
Gurley, Sharif Floyd, number 73. He's a big part of this Florida defense that has had an excellent season so far. Let's introduce you to the starting lineup. Easley, Omar Hunter, Sharif Floyd, and Lorente McCray, the bucket position. Neron Ball, Bostic, and Jelani Jenkins are the linebackers. And the defensive secondary, Watkins, Elam, Evans, and the man who just made the tackle, Luciez Purifoy. Pressure. Murray, flag down. Pass incomplete. And the jawing continues.
Yeah, I think it was Mark Beard that time. Got a holding penalty off of Dante Fowler, number 6. Fowler's one of young players.
Offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
A high school freshman just a year ago, true freshman, coming off the edge that time, gets inside Beard. Beard has to yank an easy call. Dante Fowler is a 277-pound freshman playing the edge.
Room to go.
Yeah.
Left side, Gurley. Well, we've had a couple of injuries already in the game. Let's get an update from Tracy.
Yeah, guys, on that Georgia touchdown, the Bulldogs lost fullback Merritt Hall. He is in the locker room with a right ankle injury. We saw Xavier Nixon get hurt on that last drive. It's a left knee injury. He's on the bike right now and trying to walk it off, but still in a lot of pain. And wide receiver Solomon Patton in the locker room with a left arm injury. It does not look good for his return, guys.
Thanks, Trace. 3rd and 16. Whoa. Movement left side. Mark Beard. So holding, false start.
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Might have noticed that number 72, Kentarius Gates, has moved into left guard, giving Dallas Lee a blow. And Mike Bobo telling us on the phone yesterday they like Beard. Not so fond of the last 2 plays.
Right.
Murray. Little underneath pattern. Marlon Brown.
Oh, I think if he'd have cut out to the right at the end of that play, he had big yardage. He just kind of guessed the wrong way. It's easy to see it up here. I thought if he'd have cut one more time to the right, wide receiver screen, not a bad play to get out of in long yardage, but watch if he'd have cut back one more time to the right, I think he would have had it.
Now he had David Andrews
exactly
set up for the block,
I
right?
Thought so. Yes.
And so the punt. Colin Barber, who's averaging a shade shy of 40 yards per punt. Fair catch. Andre DeBose grabs it. Oh, he fumbled it. He muffed it.
Before the game, we're wondering up here in the booth, would things just change because of chance? You know, Florida, only 4 turnovers all year, and all of a sudden, drop one early? Who got this one? Florida.
Yep. It appears Frankie Hammond fell on it. Here's DeBose.
Fair catch, not running, no reason to go anywhere. Bobbles it, and fortunately for the Gators, they don't turn it over again. Yeah, Florida had a penalty, I think, on this return. Perhaps holding. Happened way away from the ball, I believe.
We're going to return holding on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down.
Happened to the gunner after the kick, so it was not a ball back for Georgia.
And I think that is Mark Richt's argument.
It did happen after the ball was punted, though.
Got it.
And he's the mild one.
Back in Jacksonville, Georgia leading 7-0, penalty on the last play after the punt.
Yeah, the ball's punted out here. The gunner, the action's right here is where the holding takes place. Actually, the official way on this sideline is the guy who calls it. He's responsible for that guy. There's the hold right there. Flag is already done. The ball is punted, and then it's fumbled. I think the officials, again, got it right. They're the calm ones in this game, I think, so far.
Yeah, things are a little testy. And it's added kind of a herky-jerky element to the rhythm of the game.
And Florida's helped. They've been herky-jerky themselves. They don't have their footing yet.
On 1st down, draw play again. Michael Gilliard makes the tackle.
And let's just talk about this Georgia defense a little bit. I mean, I believed coming into this season that when you talked about the elite defenses in the SEC, of course you had to talk about Alabama, LSU, South Carolina, Florida, and Georgia. Those were the 5 elite defenses. And the one that hasn't played up to billing so far has been Georgia. However, they got a second chance. In this league, you don't get a lot of second chances. And today, they can wrest hold of their own destiny.
Now, they've got the ultimate mulligan, having been hammered at South Carolina. And then having, here's Driscoll running to his left. Bakari Rambo wraps him up around the shoulders. They got so much help last week. They won. They struggled at Kentucky. They gave up 200-plus yards rushing in that one. But here was Florida, their detested rival, knocking off South Carolina to give Georgia new life. Just to go back to the top of the show, if Florida wins this, they go to Atlanta. If Georgia wins this, they control their destiny.
Last 2 times in this situation, Todd Grantham has produced the blitz. This time it doesn't look the same, just 4.
And they stunt. 3rd and 8, Driscoll. Boy, good coverage downfield. Drilled it to Hammond, but it's incomplete coverage from Damian Swan, number 5. 4th down.
Plenty of time to throw the football, but you're correct. Damian Swan had great coverage on the play. It's a zone coverage, but he picks up the eyes of the quarterback, reacts to it, does not interfere. Good zone defense by Georgia. There's the not mild one right there, the defensive coordinator for Georgia, Todd Grantham.
You think when Will Muschamp meets up with Todd Grantham at coaches' meetings, they discuss explosive outbursts? Here's Kyle Christie's punt. Boy, he is having an All-American year.
Yeah, that wasn't a great punt. No. He got great yards out of it. He missed that one.
He missed it for 54 yards.
He had about a 20-yard roll on that one.
My goodness, yes. How about that? Well, Mississippi State with a big game out west against Alabama in Tuscaloosa tonight. LSU has an open week to get ready for Alabama's visit a week from tonight. Keith Marshall is in. Fellow freshman along with Gurley. Tackle made by Josh Evans. And so much noise made by Gurley and Marshall in the early part of the season. And as a freshman tandem, they've really been quieted in the last couple of games.
They have. And Aaron Murray has thrown the ball effectively for them. But they're going to need both today. I still think it's going to be the passing game that is the difference for Georgia.
High formation. Play action Murray. Goes deep. Deflected. Intercepted. Picked off by Miron Ball, number 11.
I don't know what he was looking on this one. The one guy, in my mind, he couldn't throw the ball to is the one guy Aaron Murray did throw the ball to. 3 defenders is going to have the tight end right in the middle. Watch the 3 Florida defenders. He's got a crossing, get the back, check down, back over here, throws it to the one guy he can't. Gets it batted up in the air, and as you say, Miron Ball ends up with the football. Aaron Murray, that's his 6th turnover in the last 3 outings. 2 before. He had 4 2 years ago, 1 last year, and 1 already today. Vern, it's been since 1987 that Georgia has not had a turnover. The winning team has not had a turnover in this game.
Another flag. See the turnover margin. They were 113th last year.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, 12 men on the field. Remain first down.
Think about that. 1987, when Coach Dooley was coaching, is the last time Georgia won when they did not have a turnover. Again, Florida making mistakes. Usually they have this down to a science. These substitutes. There's that look. There's that look.
That was Clay Burton, the backup tight end.
That was I don't want to tip off future stuff, but that was a Gruden look, wasn't it, right there? He was about ready to just go off.
He looked a little like Chucky. Wow. Gillisley. Well,
might as well use it.
Yeah,
ruined it already.
No, you didn't.
All right,
who does he remind you of?
All right, I got a few here. All right, a Ditka. He's got that personality, you know. Bill Coward, spit coming out of his face. You know, he was a special teams coach at Cleveland. We used to stand aside. And John Gruden with those eyes, you know.
And a moment ago, what did we see?
Watch this. Watch these eyes. Chucky, what are you doing?
He's just saying grace.
Oh, my goodness.
Second down. Second down to 14. Nixon. Driscoll deep. Good coverage. Wow. Sanders Cummings was stride for stride with Frankie Hammond Jr.
Yeah, and it's really hard to throw the deep ball downwind. You would think that it would be easier, but that ball just drifts. It's like, you know, trying to hold a 9-iron downwind. The ball just drifts on you. Cummings in good position. It would have been a perfect throw to complete it, and the ball just drifted out of bounds.
Word received from the bench that Matt Moore, the referee, has gone to both sidelines. Talked to Mark Richt and Will Muschamp, and he said, calm your kids down, or we're going to start ejecting players.
They go for coaches, too?
Good point. Driscoll got him. No, they don't. Watch out. The ball's out.
Yep, it is.
My, oh, my.
Georgia's got this one, I'll tell you that. You know, coming into this game, Florida has not been a passing team, but they have given up 21 sacks. So in these passing situations, first it was coming from the outside, it was Jones, then Jordan Jenkins. But when Driscoll moves up in the pocket, you got to understand, one guy doesn't get you, the other guy does. And from behind, it was Jarvis Jones. He had 4 sacks a year ago, and there's another one right there.
Jones with the contact, Cornelius Washington with the recovery.
Will Georgia go downfield? A great cut again. That's it.
Early.
Penalty call against Georgia. This one's coming back. I think they're going to call it on Malcolm Mitchell, number 26 is what I believe. Blocking downfield from behind.
Walking back. 26 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
I think you got Jalen Watkins, number 14. A block that really wasn't necessary. Everybody a little too eager here. Watch him from behind. Watkins gets inside of him, pushes him from behind. That's a good call again. But Gurley has some ability, I'll tell you that. If they can find creases, he'll get through it.
First down 20. He gets a handoff. He's got a crease. And he's got a little speed to get around the corner.
Yes, he does.
Marcus Roberson chased him out of bounds, but a big gain, 18 yards.
And you have to give it to that offensive line. They have not been producing the rushing yards, but today, with these open formations, Mike Bobo talked that he wanted to run from spread formations, and it's been successful. Again.
Huge hole at the line.
Running behind Gates and Beard, I believe. No, Dallas Lee's back in, number 64. They put Gates back at offensive tackle.
One more time.
This has to be shocking to Florida.
And shocking to Jeff Driscoll. 2 fumbles lost. That's Lorente McCray, another injured Gator.
The game plan for Georgia has worked. I didn't know if it would. They had decided that they could spread the Florida defense out with 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and 1 running back, and run at them.
Well, Lorente McCray will be assisted off the field here shortly. That's the end of the first quarter. Fascinating quarter in many respects. 7-0 Georgia. We'll return to Jacksonville after this message and a word from your local station.
Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
Gurley finds a hole and gets into the end zone.
We welcome you back to Jacksonville, Florida, Georgia, 7-0 as we get set for the start of the second quarter. If Florida wins, they'll go to the SEC championship game in Atlanta. If Georgia wins, they control their destiny. Second down, inches. Handoff right side, Gurley. He's got the first down. And actually a couple of yards more. Well, we chatted last night with Mark Grantham and with Mark Richt, Mike Bobo. You sense that they wanted to be a little more aggressive than they had been in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Vern, you mentioned, and Tracy mentioned, that Sean Williams apologized to the team on Tuesday for his outburst. They should go over and thank him for the outburst, because they needed to play with more emotion. They're coaching with more emotion. They're more aggressive. They're playing with more emotion. Right now, it's all working.
Murray into the corner.
That was a bad decision by Murray. It's first down. He's got the easy check down again, right in front of him.
Intended for Marlon Brown.
Tavius Wooten, number 17, is going. I'm standing right here, Aaron. Watch this. He's got the easy throw right to the outside. Going to force it downfield. The corner sinks on the play. Nowhere to go with it.
Handed off. Todd Gurley gets the carry.
Georgia's been using this no huddle most of this football game.
Gurley 10 for 59. Saw a shot of Jeff Driscoll. 2 fumbles lost. Well, he's had 2 fumbles, one of which was lost. 3rd and 8 at the 9, 7-0 Georgia. Chris Conley is in along with Keith Marshall. Florida brings 4. Murray pulls up underneath, bobbled, intercepted.
Yes.
That's Josh Evans on the deflection.
I'll tell you, Florida, I think, crossed up Murray on that play. He thought for sure he'd get man coverage. Florida, aggressive all the time, sat in a soft zone. And Murray forced it over the middle. Look at sitting back over here in a zone. Everybody just catching up guys. They're playing Tampa 2 basically and finding players. Throws it into the middle. It's bobbled around. I think Jenkins was the guy. Jelani Jenkins, was he in on the play that made the play?
Yes. Pass intended for Rantavius Wooten. Intercepted by Evans. Time called. Josh Evans just got his first interception of 2012. Aaron Murray just threw his second in this game.
Sometimes the hurry up helps you, and sometimes the hurry up hurts you. This time, J. Rome, number 87, has the wrong play. He thinks it's a run. He's downfield blocking. Look at him. That busts the play and frees up an extra defender for Florida. Ends up being the guy in the middle of the play for the interception. Try to trick him. Sometimes you get a little too cute on your own. The play behind the play on that one is Georgia fooled themselves.
And as a result, Florida takes over. Look, 26 yards thus far. 4 fumbles by Florida. They have 1 first down thus far in the game. Driscoll. Gillisley, nothing to the outside, so he cuts it back and gets a couple. Aaron Murray on the bench. 6 interceptions against the Gators out of 78 passing attempts.
You know, Bernie's a psychology graduate, but he's going to need that psychology degree to get through this football game. You know, he has talked all week about how he has to just let it go and take some chances, but he's taken a couple chances so far, and he's been burned.
2nd down 8. Spread. Up the middle again.
Nothing.
Stoned.
This looks like the Georgia defense we saw in the SEC championship game. That's the good news. But this also looks like the Georgia offense we saw in the SEC championship game when they failed to cash in on opportunities early in the football game. Will that come back and haunt them? Because they should have more points at this point in the game right now.
Third down 8.
It's been a lot of 3rd and longs, probably more than Florida can remember so early in a football game.
Empty backfield, 5 wides. That's Hammond coming near side. 4-man Georgia rush. Watch out from behind. Tipped again, but complete to Trey Burton. And a gain of 14.
You know, you got to hand it to Jeff Driscoll here. Now think about what he's gone through. Through a big turnover on that rush. He hangs in the pocket. He trusted his protection. He found his go-to guy in Trey Burton. And that is big-time playing from your quarterback in a big game.
Sophomore from Oviedo, Florida, a couple of hours away. Stunts defensively. Driscoll in trouble. Avoids the tackle. And he's, my goodness, was he near or across the line?
I don't think so. That was a good pass. That was a good pass. Incomplete.
Yeah.
He got hit after he let that go. I don't know if he got a helmet right on the thigh board or what. This looked like he got hit pretty good as he let this call go. Scrambles out. Yes, he did. He got hit on the right thigh. Let's keep an eye on that one.
That hit made by Sanders Cummings, number 19. 2nd and 10. Driscoll still has it with a blocker in front. That was Jordan Reed, and Reed was pushed backward as Sean Williams again made the tackle.
I'll tell you, let's keep an eye on that right thigh. Sanders Cummings gets it right on the hip and the thigh for Driscoll. He looks a little bit ginger to me as he went back to the huddle.
3rd and 7.
You see him shaking right there?
Yeah. The backup is Jacoby Brissett.
They're coming after him on this one. Yes, they are.
Caught. Quentin Dunbar.
Well, Brandon Smith had an opportunity to change this football game. He closed on the throw. Driscoll hung in there, threw it right in the face of the blitz. He had the slot defender unblocked, and Brandon Smith, if he timed this better, he could have intercepted it. He doesn't get it. Dunbar steps in, makes the catch, and then the 1st down.
That's a gain of 12.
Here's that on balance with extra offensive linemen in the game.
Right side. Caught by the fullback, Hunter Joyer. Used primarily as a blocker. That's his 4th catch.
Let's talk a little bit about the offensive coordinator for Florida. Brent Pease, remember, he was the coordinator for Boise State against Georgia a year ago when Kellen Moore, completed about all his passes, like 24 for 30, and he picked this Georgia defense apart with the short passing game. I wondered on the phone call with Brent if he wasn't tempted to go back to that offense.
They're testing left side on the ground. Mike Gillisley, Kwame Gathers made the tackle.
Think about it. You've had success as a play caller. You think you know how to attack this gifted defense. There's Brent right there. And you go, I don't know if we're put together well enough to do that, but you're itching to call those plays that you had Georgia last year chasing their tail.
We have another player down.
James Wilson? I think it is. Or is it Jonathan Harrison? I thought it was James Wilson.
I think it is James Wilson.
Usually it's somebody that you don't see from the backside, and it was, again, not the guy he was blocking, but it was Ogletree coming from the backside. He is wearing a knee brace, and that might have saved him if he can play. Again, it looks like he might be okay.
Well, this has been a game of attrition in addition to emotion. From their nearly simultaneous arrival on the field, this has been a highly emotional game between these two rivals. Will Muschamp. Matt Elam's been a part of the conversations that have taken place. And as Gary said, Mark Richt is the calm one.
Yes, he's the calm one out there. Todd Grantham's not.
Jonathan Harrison over the ball. It's 3rd and inches. And it appears they got the 1st down.
Yeah, they didn't mess around this time. Quarterback sneak with a quick count. That's always a good way to do it. Snap it quick. Keep your legs driving and go forward.
1st down 10. And Trey Burton is in the Wildcat position. He'll keep it. 2nd down 8. 7-0 Georgia. Blitz. Driscoll screen right side. Gillisley, Jalapeno out there, Harrison out there. And finally Ogletree gets him from behind. Perfect call against the blitz.
Couldn't have it better, but someone should be manned up with that guy. When you're blitzing, it's man-to-man coverage. Who's got the tailback? He crosses over, and it probably was Sean Williams that time, number 36. Perfect call by Peace. He caught him in. He knew that Grantham had been blitzing a lot in those situations. He went with the blitz. He crossed his back across the formation and had that key blitz. That means the blitzer is expecting the running back to pick him up. He didn't do it. Great call.
Driscoll split to the left. Burton out of the Wildcat for the 2nd time. And for the 2nd time. Not much there. Aaron Murray on the bench. Remember, they had a 1st and goal. And he was intercepted on a deflection, the pass intended for Rentavious Woot.
And remember, on that 1st down play, he turned down a wide open receiver to try to throw to the touchdown, so he kind of accumulated the mistakes in the drive. They only got 10 guys out there. They only have 10 players for Georgia. They did take a smart timeout.
7:25 to go first half. 7-6. Jeff Driscoll, a moment ago, looked like he might have injured his right leg.
Yeah, we were talking about whether he received a hit on the thigh. It might have been when he landed. He tweaked his knee a bit or ankle a bit. He's been flexing his leg since then, but obviously he's still in the game.
2nd down 10. Uh-oh.
Well, that was very fortunate.
Yes. Garrison Smith unimpeded.
Well, it was a middle screen that time. Brent Peace, coordinator, tried to come back with another kind of gimmick play to get it, spring his football team. He was expecting the blitz, and that time it was defended well. Stayed with their men, nowhere to go with the football. Driscoll kind of let it go with a prayer, and he kind of dodged the disaster there.
3rd down 10. LaTroy Pittman has come on the field. He and Dunbar, the wideouts to the left side.
Bring the blitz again.
It comes. Yep. Flag. Looks like it might have been Chaz Green.
False start. Number 75 the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Tis.
When you're playing in college football, because of the wider hashes than the NFL game, you have to be aware of that corner to the short side of the field, the narrow side of the field. It's going to come from this side, and it does right there. Sanders Cummings. If you blitz it from the other side, it takes you too long to get there.
8 per game. 104th. And now 3rd and 15 for the Gators. Pressure. That one is tipped from behind. Jordan Jenkins, number 59, got a hand on it.
Well, you got Jarvis Jones on one side and Jordan Jenkins, a true freshman, from the other side. He handles Chaz Green, and no place for that football to go. He's lucky he got it off. Nice to be able to bring in a true freshman that can rush the passer like that, isn't it?
Caleb Sturgis is on. Twice he's connected from 51 yards. Ooh, got it just inside the right upright.
Pretty successful. Remember, at the end of that quarter, Vern, you and I were talking, Georgia was controlling the game. A turnover and a 15-play drive is a way to answer.
Okay, thank you. And Gary, we happened to be glancing up at the screen when we saw the injury.
It makes me sick, to tell you the truth. It's a guy that has such a promising career, and football's a cruel game sometimes, I'll tell you. Well, let's actually pray that he comes back and is able to give a shot at an NFL career, but that one looked really bad.
Yes, it did. 7-3 at the end of that 15-play drive. 7:05 to go in the first half. Caleb Sturgis will kick off. Malcolm Mitchell. And Mitchell will bring it out. Bumps into a player, bounces left.
It's going to be a block in the back again.
It sure was.
It's coming back.
Wow. Well, we mentioned when we came on the air at 3:30 that Will Muschamp was a 4-year player for the Bulldogs. Actually spent time as a youngster here in over in Gainesville. Played safety, senior co-captain, got the moves down early.
Yep.
And became a highly successful defensive coordinator. LSU, Auburn, and that leads us to the Duck. Who are the 4 SEC head coaches who graduated from SEC schools? It took us a while.
Yeah, we had trouble with this one.
Yeah.
Let's see if Aaron Murray can write his football game.
Gurley is the running back. Murray has been intercepted each of the last 2 Georgia possessions. Gurley. Luchez Purifoy. Part of the biography of Aaron Murray, the junior out of Tampa, is the absence of success, not only Murray, but the whole Georgia team against top 10 teams. And he's 0 for 4. Ogletree leads the way this way. Gurley bumped out of bounds by John Bostic, number 1.
John Bostic and Delaney Jenkins, the 2 linebackers, when they're on the field together, they bring speed and physical football play. They're both very, very smart football players and actually help each other. Florida runs a check defense, means they change the coverage while the offense is changing, so they need both of them on the field.
.88, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Tight end Arthur Lynch moved.
There has been a lot of mistakes in this football game. You can tell both sides understand the importance of the game. They're not playing free and easy and mistake-free.
Nerves?
They have the nerves, no doubt about it.
6 penalties to 4 now. First down and 15. 5:40 to go. Ogletree again leads away. Oh, Gurley got an opening and pops through before Josh Evans makes the stop.
I'll tell you, both Josh Evans, number 9, and Matt Elam, number 22, are getting their noses up on this run game really quick. I think if I'm Mike Bobo, I'm going to depend on that and see if I can call a play-action pass and try to get behind them down the middle of the field. Well, maybe not right now, but early in the down and distance, they got a chance to get something deep against these safeties.
On 2nd and 8, go back to Gurley. That's his 14th carry already in the game. Luchez Purifoy, number 15, who's having a stellar season at quarterback, makes the tackle. There's Purifoy. He's been used on special teams as the starting quarterback and last a cornerback. Last week we saw him line up as a wide receiver. 3rd down, 7. Play clock at 3. Better hurry.
Hard to understand. That clock's right there. If you're a head coach or a coordinator, you depend on your quarterback to see that clock and get that ball snapped. Was the timeout called prior?
Timeout, Georgia. Before the flag, there is no foul on the play.
So Mark Richt that time saved 5-yard penalty.
That is the 2nd Georgia timeout. 1 left. John Harrison, starting 7. Well, let's take a look at today's Facebook poll question. This is our list. There might be others. Brian Kelly, Will Muschamp, Bill O'Brien, Mike Riley, or Bill Snyder, Kansas State. Log on to Facebook.com/SEC on CBS to make your voice heard. 3rd and 7.
Does Georgia allow Aaron Murray to throw the football here? Or do they give him a safe throw? 4 minutes to go in the half.
Cuts it, fires it, intercepted. Matt Elam has it. That's the 3rd interception by Murray, thrown in the first half.
That's what I was talking about. He seems tight to me. I thought maybe they would just try to get out of there, punt the football, and kind of allow Murray to regroup at halftime. This ball was woefully overthrown. Playing robber defense, man-to-man, safety. Even if that ball was accurate, it would not have been completed because Deontay Saunders was all over the receiver. Throwing against your body, down in your own end zone, that's a tough play from a guy you're counting on in this football game. He's got another half, but this has been a rough first half.
Now think about this, the quarterbacks. Bostic, the sophomore for Florida, has lost 2 fumbles, both in the first quarter. Murray has thrown 3 interceptions.
Yep. And 3 bad ones, too. You know, not tip balls or something that could have gone the other way. 3 bad ones.
I was looking at John Bostic on the block after the interception. It's Jeff Driscoll, of course. After Elam picked it off, oh boy.
By the way, Tracy did report up to us down at the sideline that none of the trainers had come over to look at Jeff Driscoll at all. She thinks he's fine. Or at least the trainers think he's fine.
That's right. Gillislee to the 4, perhaps the 3.
Well, this is the look of the Florida running game we've seen when they've been successful. Pulling the guard, kicking out, running downhill off tackle. When they ran the ball effectively against LSU, this is what they did. When they ran the ball effectively against South Carolina, that's what they did.
Ball spotted at the 4. Gillislee nailed this time. Well, let's check the Florida Verizon red zone stats. 17 of 28. Those are touchdowns. National average, they're right at it, 61%.
Well, can that Georgia defense step up now and answer it? Florida answered the call when they had to. Now can the Georgia defense bail out their football team here?
Jones looks like he might be coming.
Bad snap.
Driscoll. Oh, he had
would have been a touchdown. I don't know what happened on the snap. What happened with the snap? It would have been a big play. I think the center thought that Driscoll was underneath him and that he did not think it was shotgun. He snapped that ball as if Driscoll's hands was underneath him that time.
And Burton all by himself in the end zone, so that's going to bring Sturgis out 23 yards.
Driscoll must have a light touch.
I am not going to follow that up.
Well, I mean, there's no answer for that. There's no other explanation except that the center thought the quarterback was underneath, and a quarterback-center exchange. It was botched.
Take a look at that last snap, a look from our Avis action cam.
Well, you know, this seems like so easy, but this time Jonathan Harrison felt Jeff Driscoll was underneath center with the quarterback center snap. As he turns the ball, see him turn the ball, he thought he was snapping it to the quarterback. Very fortunate that Driscoll even got this ball. That was very weird, because if a good snap, there's a touchdown. It's a 4-point mistake.
So Driscoll adept at getting over and grabbing the snap, the errant snap from Harrison, but Burton was all by himself.
Well, so Georgia's defense answered. They got a little help, but they answered. Stopped them on first and second down and got a little help on third down.
Mitchell back. Caleb Sturgis, almost half of his kickoffs this season have been touchbacks. And Mitchell will bring it out from about 4 yards into the end zone. Well, Aaron Murray, the junior, off of career best 427 yards last week.
As you look at his highlights, let's go with what his quote was this week about the game. You can't go in there stressed. I have to be positive in my thoughts and let her rip. Sometimes maybe I try to be too perfect or too cautious, thinking about not throwing an interception. My goal this week is to trust my abilities. That's the preparation I put into it. I'm just going to let her rip.
Where's his mind right now? Want to guess?
Well, he's a psychology major. Let's see if he can handle it, because this is tough to handle as a quarterback.
Keith Marshall is the running back.
And where's the mind of the Georgia coaches, too? Regroup, punt the football, get out of the half. And where do they hand it to Murray again and say, we trust you, let her go?
They have only one timeout remaining. They have a 1-point lead. I'm guessing this is going to be a handoff. Sharif Floyd makes the stop. And let's check in with Tracy.
Well, guys, Jelani Jenkins not out there for Florida. He re-injured that left hamstring he hurt against LSU. They have taken him to the locker room. I'll get an update at the half, guys.
Antonio Morrison has taken his spot. This is Jelani Jenkins a moment ago.
Yeah, how frustrating should that be? All year. One of the most gifted linebackers in our conference.
They're down 12. Murray. Got it. Malcolm Mitchell.
Another Florida player down, too. Well, Aaron Murray kept his wits about him on that one. It's McCray again, isn't it? McCray and Jenkins, two of the most athletic. You know, McCray is listed as a defensive end, but he's really an outside linebacker. So two of the linebackers on the field here, and a perfect throw that time to the outside.
Illegal forward pass on the quarterback.
Oh my, was he across the line?
That penalty includes loss of down, 4th down.
I did not notice that. I had my eyes downfield. Did he cross the line? He had to go across the 15-yard line to throw it? Well, he did. And that ball left his hand. That ball was across the line. Very close, but across the line. Big play. Loss of down, stops the clock.
You bet.
Florida keeps 2 timeouts.
And 1:13 remaining in the first half.
17 seconds.
I don't know if they're reviewing this or resetting the clock, both. I don't know if it's being reviewed also.
And we're told the reset was the only issue in that case. 1:17 now. Colin Barber is on to punt. Andre DeBose is back. Second punt for Barber. A bit of a helping win.
Let's see if Florida doesn't go after this punt.
Matt Moore with another announcement of some sort. And a challenge flag has been thrown.
Yeah, I think Mark is probably challenging whether the quarterback crossed the line on that pass.
That is the issue.
Remember, the ball was snapped right on the line, on the 15-yard line. Ball seems to be in front of the line to me when he lets it go. The ball seemed to me to be above the line. Now, our camera's not right down the line, but from our angle. See, Mark is saying his foot was on the line.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
I think it was a good challenge by Mark. He wasn't going to use his timeouts anyway. Got at least one more look at it. And the ball is released. It's in front of the line.
And so, 4th down.
That's Jenkins and McRae both in the locker room. See if they go for a block here or return. And a lot of speed on the field. Frankie Hammond Jr.'s on there. That's Frankie right there. They're going to go block, aren't they?
Barber's punt. Good one. DeVos, who muffed a fair catch call earlier. That's a 48-yard punt, nothing on the return. 1:08 to go. Florida with 2 timeouts left. And let's get the duck to come across the screen once again. Who are the 4 SEC head coaches who graduated from SEC schools? Well, you know about Muschamp because he's a graduate of Georgia. Gene Chizik, Florida. How about Joker Phillips at Kentucky? And, of course, Steve Spurrier at Florida.
Yep.
Veterans that we are, we both got Spurrier.
We did.
5 wides. 1:08 to go. 1-point game. 7-6 Georgia. Touchdown by Gurley following a Driscoll fumble.
Oh, big chance for a play. Ogletree had a chance for a touchdown on this one. Ogletree was a safety when he first came to Georgia, and that ball was thrown just a little too quick. Ogletree tried to cut it off. Ball was going to Dunbar, and that probably felt like, oh, he dodged one.
Got a little hip tap from Garrison Smith, did Jeff Driscoll.
What do you do if you're Florida now? Do you say, let's not put our young guy in this situation? Let's do something safe.
Time, deep left, incomplete. Dunbar again. Brendan Smith was the defender. Now then, goes to the best.
Well, you remember, Georgia doesn't have any timeouts, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of stress. With the play call, even if it's incomplete, you're going to get out of the half. Right. Unless you get your punt blocked, about the only thing that happened.
Driscoll has missed his last 5 passes. 57 seconds to go. Safety blitz. They hand it off to Gillisley. He's got a first down, and he gets out of bounds.
Well, Gillisley made a Georgia safety, I think it was a safety miss. Could have been stopped short of the first down. Let's see who he made with the dodge. Miss on the play. It was Ogletree, actually.
Yes, it was, yes.
Ogletree had 2 chances in that series to come up with a play, and he came up with error both times.
50 seconds to go. Gators have 2 timeouts left. Caleb Sturgis, should he be called upon. 2 for 2 today. Twice this year, he has connected from 51 yards.
Georgia seems to be squatting. I think Florida should go deep one of these times.
Gillisley.
No, great cuts.
Brandon Smith finally made the stop.
Timeout by Florida here. Draw play, 1 jump, 2 jumps, 1 more cutback, but Brandon Smith comes up with a nice tackle.
Gillisley, terrific run. Time called. 40 seconds to go. 40 seconds to go first half, and a reminder, we'll go back to our studios. For the Geico halftime report, Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, Aaron Taylor are there. Tony Barnhart, been in the studio a lot this year, is here watching the game. 2nd down 5. Driscoll.
Oh, what a catch.
Yes, Dunbar.
Woo! What a catch. You got to get up there and clock it now. You want to save your timeout. Save your timeout. Either clock it or run a play. Everybody on the line of scrimmage, you can do that. That's well within the rules. You just can't have too many people in the backfield. Driscoll hung. It was a design dash play. This was a design rollout. Clay Burton, 88, is going to help get Driscoll out of the pocket. Nobody to go to. Throws back across, and what a catch by Dunbar. 29 seconds and a timeout left. You should be able to get in 4 plays, 3 and a field goal.
Here's Dunbar coming to the near side. Trey Burton is lined up behind Driscoll. Now he'll come in motion. Number 8 in the slot left. Four-man rush, Georgia again. Driscoll deep into the end zone, incomplete.
Oh, he called a flag on it.
Goodness. One-on-one, so to speak.
Yep, Brandon Smith. He probably thought his left arm or hand hooked Dunbar as he went for the ball. Let's see what happened. Middle of the field. Did his left hand hook him as he went for the ball?
Pass interference. Defense number
Exactly
1.
what happened.
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That back judge is right behind the play, and that's exactly what he looks for. He looks for your offhand that isn't trying to defend the ball. What's happening? You can give him a little tug, but you got to let go. See that arm? They're going to call that.
That was an embrace.
Yep.
First and goal. Florida with 1 timeout remaining. Ball at the 5. Driscoll play fake.
Had him for a touchdown and missed him.
Sure did.
It looked like they went with the same play that they had the bad snap before. Still 16 seconds left, still a timeout. This time they get the good snap, put out into the sideline. It's defended well by Georgia, and then at the end he's got him. Just throws it to the sideline. What happened there, Vern? His momentum carried. What happened there?
That's the physics involved in the play. You think I don't listen to you?
A ball in motion stays in motion.
There
right?
you are.
You got anything? You can run it here. You got a timeout.
Second and goal. Driscoll
Get rid
chased
of it.
Garrison Smith. Fires it. Intercepted by Bakari Rambo. And he's going to bring it back out. Oh, my gracious.
Needed to get rid of that one. That's a young player doing too much. Or like Aaron Murray, an old player trying to do too much. But he gave away 3 points. What he needed was a rhythm throw. It's either there or live for another day. There's Rambo. Let's see what happens to him. He follows the sprinting quarterback, follows his eyes, and you see he thought he had Trey Burton wide open, but Rambo sees him too, accelerates to it, and makes the play. A great play by Bakari Rambo. He peeked to his left, he saw the open receiver, he accelerated and anticipated the throw.
Let's go down to Tracy with Will Muschamp.
Thanks a lot. And Will, not the same Florida team we saw in the last few games. What gave you guys so much trouble early on?
Well, the turnovers are killing us. We put ourselves in some bad situations. Obviously not into the half the way we wanted to. We should have needed to get points there.
You're still in it, though, because of their turnovers and your second half team. So what will you tell your team to regroup for the next 30 minutes?
We're fine. It's a 7-6 ball game. We got a lot of football to play. We're going to be fine.
Thanks a lot. Vern?
All right, Tracy, thank you. 7-6 at the break. End of the first half. Georgia leads. Let's go to Tim Brando in our New York studio.
Thanks, Vern. Tracy has such a calming effect, doesn't she? Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, we'll get you caught up on all of today's action and tell you how South Carolina won a game but lost its star. After this word from your local station.
Throws it into traffic. It's batted and picked off. It's broken up and it's intercepted. There's a pick the ball off his touch.
Intercepted. Matt Elam has it. That's the 3rd interception by Murray.
Sideline, flings it back in, and it's intercepted in the end zone by Bakari Rambo. Rambo wants to run it out. He's going to run it out at the 5.
Well, that's how the score stays low. 7-6 Georgia. They scored on their first drive of the game moments ago. Tracy Wolfson with Georgia head coach Mark Richt.
Coach, Aaron Murray has thrown 3 interceptions in that first half and is struggling. Is he trying to do too much?
Well, when you go through your progression, you got 1, 2, 3, and then you got to throw it away, or you got to go scramble. So I think we've held the ball a little too long, trying to make something bigger than we should on a couple of those. I think one got tipped or something, but you just got to go through his reads. If it's not there, burn it, or go run and secure the thing.
How about your defense? It looks like Sean Williams' speech has had an effect. What's been the biggest difference so far?
Well, we've kept them out of the end zone. It's huge. A couple field goal attempts, no touchdowns. And then at the very end, they could have kicked a field goal to take the lead, but we get a turnover in the red zone. So, we've been very opportunistic in that area, so we just got to keep going.
Thanks a lot. Vern?
All right, Trace, then your reaction, Gary?
Well, he's right. That was what I was going to say, the summary of the first half.
There goes your on camera. But I have great
more?
faith.
You got another one?
No, I think you'll come up with something. Absolutely believe that. Jacksonville on a cloudy day, but rain-free, and actually the wind does not appear to have been that much of a factor. There was some concern earlier in the week when Sandy, the hurricane, working itself up the East Coast. Malcolm Mitchell is deep. Caleb Sturgis will kick it, and this one goes out of the end zone. Well, you're not the only one who had your information stolen. I was going to say something about 6 turnovers, 12 penalties between the two. We've certainly seen the negative. Is there any positive?
I think there is. Georgia ran the ball. Gurley rushed for almost 80 yards. I think that's a positive for Georgia heading into the second half. You got to believe Aaron Murray's going to play better. That's a positive. For Florida, they withstood the early charge from Georgia. Could have got ugly. They stayed in the football game. They got to be feeling good about that. Those are the positives, I think, in the game.
And we are told that the play clock is inoperative, so that is being kept down on the field. First down and 10. Here's Murray, draw play to open the second half. Todd Gurley. He has the only touchdown of the game. It came on a 10-yard drive on the first Georgia possession after Jeff Driscoll bobbled a snap, recovered it, and then got into a mix-up with Mike Gillislee. That one was recovered by Georgia.
I don't see Laurenti McCray out there, number 34, the starter, after halftime. Looks like Fowler's in there, number 6.
Second down, 6. Gurley. A couple. How about the trends?
Well, you know it when you're a quarterback. We've all been there. Anybody that's played at a high level has had one of those first halves. You know, it's finishing it out after that. Jeff Driscoll's done some good things, and he's done some not so good things. You look at Bakari Rambo. I think that was the biggest play of the first half. He alertly saw the intended receiver, and all the points were off the turnover. Let's see what Bobo dials for a quarterback who's struggling here on 3rd and 4.
Incomplete. It was intended for Tavares King. Did he lead him a little too much?
No, that was a design play. It was kind of a fake. Oh, here's another flag down.
Aha.
They have warned both sides to quit the talking after the play. Oh, man. I think it was Jalen Watkins that came up after the play and wouldn't let it go. Just kept talking and talking.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 14 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It was. Jalen Watkins, after the play, just wouldn't let it go. Tavares King, and what did King say as we talked to him on the phone? I said, you know, those Florida guys are going to be yapping all day. What do you got to do? And he said, I need to be physical with them.
Well, we've seen in this instance what would have been 4th down, and a punting circumstance becomes a first down. All the way out to 45. Here's Gurley going left.
Shirley Floyd. Probably one of the best inside defensive tackles in this league. Played defensive end a year ago, and now he's playing defensive tackle. You talk to every offensive coordinator before they talk about Florida. They say number 73 is a great football player. He sheds the block and ends up making the stop with a little help from the linebacker.
Second down, 8. Keep it on the ground again. Gurley.
You know, Vern, we had Will Muschamp in the first half, and who he reminds you of, Mark. But how about Mark Richt?
Yep.
Got a little different personality, more like a Tom Landry. You're familiar with him.
Very.
Chuck Noll would get on you, but seemed always very stoic. And lately, Tony Dungy. That's Mark Richt's style.
Certainly contrast in style for these two programs.
Both ways can be effective.
3rd down, 8. Tipped. Arthur Lynch couldn't hang on. 4th down again.
3rd down again. Florida got the stop twice on this drive. One time, the penalty kept it going. That time, Matt Elam broke inside on the throw, and Lynch couldn't handle it.
Well, the frustration continues for Georgia now, having scored on the first possession, subsequent possessions, punt, interception, 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 punt, and now another punt. DeVos. Nice punt by Colin Barber.
It was.
43-yard punt, nothing on the return. Gators have the ball. LSU has an open week, and Alabama with a huge game tonight at home against likewise undefeated Mississippi State.
And compared to last year's game, this would be a high-scoring game in that Alabama-LSU game. 7-6 is a scoring fest. What a defensive play.
Jarvis Jones.
John Jalapeno came out number 67 to block Jarvis Jones, and watch him take on the defender, spin out, and make the tackle. That's a big-time play. And that's exactly how you're taught. Take it on with your inside shoulder, somehow find the ball carrier, and make the play. You can't do it any better than that.
Jones has missed 2, as we said. Groin injury, an ankle injury that cost him the game last week. And he also is bothered by a sore left knee. Second down, 11. Driscoll 7 of 17, fires it. It's caught by Dunbar. Oh, he shakes the tackle.
Sure did.
And there goes, oh boy, one of the men who worked the chains, I think a chain gang, I think he went down.
And he's flat on his back, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Dunbar had that nice touchdown last week when he took it, shook away, and made it on a short throw just like this. Misses one tackle. Ogletree struggling a little bit with the tackles. Bounces outside and then shoved into the chain marker. Wonder if they got a chain gang guy.
Back to play. 3rd down and 2. Driscoll. Gillislee. Another missed tackle. This one by Michael Gilliard. And the fellow who's working the chain still down. Oh, there's a good sign.
Could have been behind the guy that was holding the chains, right?
Yeah, he was. We're now being informed this is the man who runs the play clock.
So that one guy gets out of the way and one guy doesn't. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, photographer with a huge lens. Well, let's wish him the best. First down on the last play. This is the fourth time that Florida has trailed at the half. They trailed at Texas A&M, came back and won that. They trailed at the half at Tennessee, came back and won that. They also trailed against LSU, came back and won that, and they were down by 1 in this game. And they have been a dominant team, especially, I think, Gary, defensively in the second half.
And they run the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
And let's see if Georgia can stop the running game in the second half. Remember, Florida talked about wearing down LSU. Now, I've been watching very carefully Todd Grantham from Georgia. They're down. Avery Jones, a defensive end, they're down 1 defensive lineman. But Todd told us that we know this is going to be a fourth quarter game, and I have to substitute the whole game, understanding that I have to be fresh in the fourth quarter. I think he's been doing that all game.
Omarius Hines, not mentioned his name at all. He's on the field now. Number 20 comes up and sets up wide to the left. Driscoll.
He got hit.
Intercepted. Yep. Damian Swan, number 5.
Yeah, Cornelius Washington got the hit on Driscoll just as he let the ball go. There's 2 ways to play pass defense, Vern. Good coverage and good pass rush. And I'm telling you, the good pass rush has a way of evening everything out. Gets inside Chaz Green, and just as the ball is let go, it pops up in the air, and there's Swan. He overpowered Chaz Green and landed right in the lap of the quarterback, and that's why the ball popped up in the air.
Damian Swan with the interception. And Georgia with the ball at the 25.5. Play action, Murray. Lobs it, caught. Chris Conley, number 31, had a touchdown catch last week in the win. They struggled in that game against Kentucky.
Well, Chris Conley did a good job of finally getting free on the play. It's the play everybody runs, a little bootleg action, somewhat of a naked. He got away from Aaron Ball, number 11 that time, late to make the easy pitch and catch.
Keith Marshall in the backfield. Starts right, goes left, runs into John Bostic. We are in Jacksonville, Florida, at the allegedly neutral site. Georgia fans will argue about that, I know, because they get to fly down here from Athens. And the Florida Gators get on buses and come over an hour and a half from Gainesville. But the game, as we mentioned, has been played here, with the exception of 2 years, since 1933. 7-6, Georgia scored on its first possession. Aaron Murray picked off 3 times in the first half. Oh, brother.
Now everything's just starting to bounce bad for the quarterbacks. You throw a nice little drop off that time, and the ball pops up in the air almost for another interception. No place to go with the ball. Covered well, throws it to the right guy that time, and almost another interception.
Well, Jelani Jenkins among those injured for the Gator defense. He's not on the field. Antonio Morrison backs him up in that weak side linebacker spot.
Remember those back shoulder throws they used against Florida last year? Well, they go with one of those back shoulder throws to the outside. I'd put Tavarius King in there and throw him on number 12.
Georgia, that is their first timeout of the second half.
Georgia timeout. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Aflac, Delta Faucet, Bud Light, and by New York Life Insurance Company. And a view of downtown Jacksonville on either side of the St. Johns River. Don't forget, later in the game, the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. Go back to last year in this game and Aaron Murray.
Yeah, last year, 2 fourth-down throws against Florida's bump-and-run coverage. Michael Bennett, who they miss, made the first one, and to the outside, Tavarius King made one against Watkins. I think if you see a bump-and-run opportunity, it was there before. Let's see if they come back to it this time, whether Florida goes bump-and-run.
Georgia yet to convert a third down. They're 0 for 6.
You do have the opportunity if they want to go to it.
Heaved it away, had to.
He at least avoided the sack, because I thought for sure he was going to get sacked that time. Was with Laurenta McCray as the guy who forced the throw. Good coverage by Florida in the secondary. Nobody really wide open on the play. McCray is the guy that had the first shot. And then it was Ball who actually chased Murray to the sideline.
Marshall Morgan will attempt the field goal. He's 5 for 6 this year. This one from 29 yards to increase Georgia's lead to 4. Adam Erickson is the holder. Got it.
Well, that's a second big stop by the Florida defense. They've answered the bell on 2 turnovers and gave up only 2 field goals. Excuse me, 1 field goal and 1 stop.
8:34 to go. We're almost midway through the 3rd quarter. Georgia leads Florida by 4. Georgia leads it by 4. 8:34 to go, 3rd quarter. Now time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success.
Well, a touchdown-saving play at the end of the half by Kari Rambo. The free safety has to get in the middle of the field, watch the defenders, and watch the quarterback. Kari Rambo sees the open space. He scans behind him, finds the receiver, and then as an experienced veteran player uses his gifted speed to get in there and make the interception. A great play using every tool that Kari Rambo has in his career in Georgia on that one.
Well, the great player Jake Scott, living in the island of Kauai, has the record for Georgia. Inducted a year ago into the National Football Foundation College Hall of Fame. 10-6.
A little bit of a dilemma, I think, right now for Florida. Jeff Driscoll and the pass rush from Georgia is giving him problems. Onside a kick. The flag is down, though.
Yep. On the far side of the 39-yard line.
Yep. Did Georgia go off sides?
Offside on the kicking team.
Yep.
A penalty will be 5 yards from the previous spot. Re-kick.
Well, Mark Rick tried to be aggressive there. Had that one in his pocket. But the dilemma I'm talking about for Florida right now is the pass rush for Georgia is giving Florida fits. Driscoll doesn't have enough experience, it seems to me, right now. And it looks like Florida's going to have to depend on that run game more than they even wished. Can they run it against Georgia in the second half? Because it looks to me like Driscoll needs a little help.
Jamie Lindley will kick off again, this time from the 30-yard line. DeBose is the deep man. He's chased over to his right about the goal line. All right, Tim, and on that return, an injury to Sheldon Dawson.
Well, Sheldon Dawson had that early hit on the kickoff. Remember, a big hit you called him, and he's going to have another one right here. Yeah, his helmet hit the shoulder pad or the arm. DeBose on the play.
True freshman out of Memphis, Tennessee, and Mark Richt out there with the medical staff. Look of concern from all. Timeout. We'll be right back. Injured player Sheldon Dawson able to get up and walk off the field essentially unescorted. And time now for Red Lobster to present today's Scholar Athletes. We're doing one from either side. Aaron Murray, we mentioned he's a graduate, enrolled in the psychology graduate program. And on the other side of the ball, from Florida, Antonio Morrison, majoring in social and behavioral sciences. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to each university's general scholarship fund. Toss, Gillisley. Joyer with a bit of a block on the edge. And Gillisley, Michael Gilliard makes the tackle.
There is no down and distance in the Florida offense this season. 1st and 10, 2nd and medium, 2nd and long, everything but 3rd and long that Florida doesn't run more than they pass. In fact, on first down, they run the ball 3 out of 4 first down plays. So far today, they have 26 rushes for about 50 yards.
Well, we made the point that each of the last 3 games. Oh, another fumble, and it's the fumble. This is
Wildcat. Trey Burton did not handle it well. This game has been so slow and cut up because of the turnovers and the speed sweep and the ball handling. Another disaster for Florida. Trey Burton trying to fake it and doesn't get back on it, and guess who does? Number 29, and he played Trey Burton the whole way, didn't he?
Yes.
Jarvis Jones says, I'm not going for anybody but the quarterback.
On the season, this undefeated Florida team, 1 interception, 3 lost fumbles. In this game, 5 turnovers already. And a first down 10 for the Bulldogs. Todd Gurley.
It's tough to get a rhythm in this football game because of the turnovers, the injuries, the penalties, the warnings, the measurements, even officials on the sideline. It's kind of crawling along this game.
Second down 7. Murray, he's thrown 3 picks, all in the first half. Now the look back, that was Dominic Easley who moved but got reset. Play clock is obviously working again, now under 10. Gurley.
Here we go. Third and medium.
Yep.
It's like a low-scoring professional football game here. Third down means so much. Neither team is able to really handle the pass rush from the other team, and 2 struggling quarterbacks.
Third and 4. Four-man rush. Murray sailed on him. Ball high. 4th and 4.
This one's hard to figure out what the design of this one was, who the #1 receiver was on the play, because Aaron Murray really didn't know where he wanted to go with that football. Had to, I think, throw it away.
Marshall Morgan made one his last effort, 29 yards. This one from 37. Oh, dear.
Huge stop by the Florida defense.
Wide left for Morgan. After another turnover. Big stop for the Florida defense. And it remains 10-6. Georgia with 6:11 to go.
Remember early in the game I said Jeff Driscoll had the opportunity to run that zone read and keep it. I wonder if they might try to get Driscoll's legs into the football game so he can kind of get away from some of the pressure of throwing the football.
2 weeks ago he had a career high 177. It broke the all-time rushing record set by a quarterback. They handed off this time to Mike Gillisley. That win included a run of 70 yards, and it erased the record held by a guy who wore number 15 at Florida.
Well, I'll tell you, Sean Williams might have had to apologize. We talked about this before, but the defense has showed up. Now, this isn't a vintage Florida offense by any means, but they have shut down this Florida run game for 43 yards, 28 rushes.
Second down, 11, loss of 1 on the last play. Time called by...
Had to be Florida. Had to be Florida, didn't it?
Yep. Both teams have 2 remaining. Another player has gone to the locker room. Let's get an update from Tracy.
That's right. That's Georgia free safety Bakari Rambo. He was taken in with cramping. I saw trainers talking to defensive coordinator Todd Grantham, saying they're going to try and get him ready for the 4th quarter, guys. All
right, Trace, thank you. Connor Norman, number 11, has taken his spot now from the shotgun formation. Georgia adjusts defensively. Driscoll, they're going to try it again. This is Andre DeBose, his first carry of the year. Let's go back to New York. Once again, here's Tim. That is the first time in my 13 years of doing this event
a decline
that Tim Brando has declined to go on the air.
He's waited for saving his time out for the 4th quarter. Here we go, 3rd and medium. Obviously, the edge rushers have been giving Florida problems. Jarvis Jones is not in the game right now. Well, is it? The 3-man line? Yes, he is down right here.
He starts, and he gets to Driscoll.
Yes, he is. He had 4 last year. He's recovered a fumble. He wasn't on the field against Kentucky, but he almost single-handedly almost beat Missouri to open the season. And this is a nice stunt inside, right inside James Wilson. A wonderfully designed blitz by Todd Grantham. And Jarvis Jones shows why people are calling him the best outside linebacker in college football.
That brings it up to Kyle Christie, who had an amazing game last week. 7 punts for a 54-yard average there. The stats on Jones. Here's Christie for only the 2nd time in the ball game. And this one, their catch taken. Oh, my goodness.
Flag came out late, too.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Devin Bowman.
Yeah, late on the play. Did he throw a punch? Is that what he did?
He hit, it looked like he threw the shoulder, at the shoulder. Now he's going to hear from Sean Williams.
Well, it's a big 15-yard penalty if it is, too.
You bet.
Oh, he's going to hear from Todd Grantham first. Then he might hear from Sean Williams.
Yeah. Well, Sean came over initially and said, "You think you got something with me?" Todd Grantham's on his way.
Yep.
We'll take another look at it. Well, there's Purifoy. He got the first blow in.
Yep.
Stiff arm
There
to
were
the
two
face.
fouls on the play. Holding on the kicking team. That penalty will be tacked on to the end of the kick. We have a dead ball, personal foul on the receiving team. So 15 yards at the end of that penalty. It'll be first down and 10.
So first, you take the 10-yard penalty, then the 15-yard penalty.
Now take a look at the top of the screen. There's Purifoy.
He grabs Purifoy, doesn't he? No doubt about it. Yanks him down. He's got his hand all over the jersey. Purifoy shoves him once, and of course the second one gets caught.
After the penalty, first down Georgia at the 37. 10th penalty on Georgia, 6 for Florida. Gurley out of bounds.
Well, Mike Vogel came up with a nice call here. Goes with the spread, screen on first down, something you don't see a lot. Screening on first down. Alabama loves to do it on first down, and this time Georgia comes with a spread screen to start off this drive. Tavares King very quiet in this football game. I think one of the better players on this football team for Georgia has not been able to find the football.
With Rantavius Wooten top. Malcolm Mitchell, right side. High formation. Play action. Nope. Murray just threw it to the ground because we had another flag.
Dead ball, delay game. Number 11 of Georgia, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Another play action. Murray pressured. Throws it short. Caught at the 45 by Richard Samuel IV. All right, Tim, thank you. Second down and 12. Well played. Gurley has been the workhorse in this offensive backfield for Georgia today.
Well, Omar Hunter, Sharif Floyd, a little bit of Dominic Easley. We've seen Jonathan Bullard, Dante Fowler at front 4 or 5. They've given up some running plays, some gashes, but overall they've held up. Nothing big in the football game.
3rd and 9. Georgia still does not have a third down conversion. They are 0 for 8. Florida delayed blitz. Murray goes left. Oh, he had him.
Well, it got to him pretty quick, though, Vern. I mean, just as Tavares King turned around that time, the ball was on him. That would have been a tough catch. A comeback to the outside. It looks bad, you know, to 80,000 people or the Georgia fans, but just as he turned around, the ball was on him. Could have been caught. I mean, you got a struggling quarterback. I just said King's their best guy. Go to him, and he doesn't come up with it. But it was more than halfway to him when he turned around.
Colin Barber on to punt for Georgia. Andre DeBose at the 10. Fair catch at the 12. 1:38 to go, third quarter. Well, let's go back and answer the Facebook poll. We asked this earlier. Who is
That's not fair.
big time vote from the SEC?
That's not
I
fair.
think.
Or from Gator fans, right?
Well, he's certainly in the conversation, and this team undefeated in Will Muschamp's second year. Well, he's won our poll 2 weeks in a row now.
That's exactly right.
Most emotional last week and coach of the year this week.
Well, to me, the coach of the year is Bill Snyder from Kansas State until he loses.
Yeah. Bakari Rambo is back on the field. Good news for Georgia. Gillisley, nice cut, but he picks up only a couple. Garrison Smith, number 56, was there.
All night, Vern, the linebackers for Georgia have been spilling the ball back inside. This time it's Jordan Jenkins. Watch him take it on and spill it back in. There's no movement. Jalapeno tries to move him, but nothing to the outside.
Second down, 7, nearing the final minute, third quarter. Jordan Reed in motion. Driscoll. Deep right side, and Jordan Reed goes up and grabs it for a Florida first down.
Yeah, that was pretty nice right here. This is one as a quarterback you love. You got your big tight end going to the outside, following a deep route. He follows Dunbar, goes right out into the dead zone. Nobody to really worry about as you throw the ball. There's nobody out there. You just get it over the one defender, and you got an easy completion. Good call, good pitch and catch.
22-yard gain and a first down, Florida. 30 seconds to go, third quarter. The inside shovel pass. Omarius Hines gang tackle. 5 Gator turnovers.
About every way imaginable. First play of the game, they were lucky to get it back, but then off the edge. That has been the problem. The outside linebackers, right before the half, Jeff Driscoll tries to force one in. He thought he had a guy open, but everything Florida has tried to do tricky has not worked. It's been the edge of the Georgia defense that has been the difference.
That's the end of the third with our score 10-6 Bulldogs. We'll return to Jacksonville, Florida right after this word from your local station. We welcome you back to Jacksonville, this annual get-together between Georgia and Florida. We get set for the start of the fourth with Tracy Wilson and Gary Danielson. Vern Lundquist here. Second down and 10 at the Florida 37 in a game filled with flags and turnovers. 10-6. Driscoll being chased right. He will tuck it and run. And that's going to bring up a third down. Well, sloppy or just intense?
Well, intense for sure, but sloppy. Not a good football game. I think both teams would like to have another chance to be, more in tune in running their offense. I mean, delay of games, drop passes, mishandling on easy plays. It's been a sloppy game for both sides here.
10-6 is the score. Georgia leads it. Third and 7. Could have been offside. Well, maybe they timed it correctly. Jarvis Jones and Bakari Rambo were coming, and there was no flag.
Well, I'll tell you, I got to give it to Todd Grantham in this game. He had a defense that had been a bit passive. But in this football game against this quarterback, Rambo times it perfectly. Gillisley was going to run a screen on the play. That's why he let Rambo go on it. And Todd Grantham has timed it out perfectly with his blitz package all game. Very aggressive play calling from Georgia's defense.
First sack for Rambo, fourth for the Georgia Bulldogs. Here's Kyle Christie.
Another kind of ugly punt from Christie.
Yep. Good downfield coverage, however, on Mitchell.
And we got another flag down. Surprise.
Well, election's coming up. This is kind of a patriotic game. A lot of flags.
See, the NFL's going to go with the pink flag this weekend. You see that?
I did see that, yeah.
After the play, dead ball personal foul. Number 27 for the receiving team. Half the distance to go. First down.
Well, we'll sort it out. 13-20 to go in this game. Bakari Rambo, big play just a moment ago.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Take you back to the very beginning of the game after a fumble recovery by Georgia. Todd Gurley scampers in from 10. They take a 7-0 lead. Tough first half for Aaron Murray. 3 interceptions in the first half. But despite those interceptions, Florida had to settle for field goals. This was Sturgis. He had 2 first-half field goals. And Florida also had red zone troubles. This a chance to take the lead on the final play of the first half, and Rambo picked it off. Marshall Morgan offered a 29-yard field goal, 10-6. Georgia. Florida helped in no way by the number of turnovers. They have 5 turnovers. Georgia has 12 penalties.
And with points being so valuable, the missed field goal, the interception down by the goal line, remember the missed snap that Florida had? It's been a lot of self-inflicted wounds here for both sides.
Murray. That's Todd Gurley. And that puts him at an even 100 yards. That's a welcome sight. The sun setting to the west of Jacksonville. SEC standings. If Florida wins, they go to the SEC championship game in Atlanta. If Georgia wins, they own the tiebreaker over Florida. They control their own destiny. They've got games against Ole Miss and Auburn remaining in the SEC. Murray, right side. Oh, Gurley.
You're right. Fantastic play by Gurley there, because the defense, for Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator for Florida, forced the ball exactly where they wanted it to go. A swing pass to the running back, a missed tackle by Matt Elam. He does not miss a lot of tackles. Gurley kept his feet back and made it 3rd and medium.
Four-man rush. Murray tucks it. First down. Well, wait a minute. And there is a flag, of course.
Yep.
They're going to spot it.
It's going to be holding on Georgia, I would assume.
Personal foul, hands to the face mask. Number 68 of the offense. Half the distance to goal. Third down.
Chris Burnett inside, right guard. That's right where the flag was thrown, right at the right guard. And you're right, though. I don't know if Aaron Murray slid far enough for the first down. 68 right there. See that hand to the face mask? That's an easy call. Murray slides. Does he get across? The ball was on the, that might have been short of a first down, and it would have been fourth down. Very interesting, taking the penalty by Florida.
Third down, 13 now. 13 penalties against Georgia. Murray at the goal line. Goes deep left side.
All right, what coverage on that one?
It's Tavares King again, and Marcus Roberson had the coverage. 4th and 13.
So it worked out for Florida. They forced Georgia to get one more play. They throw the deep one. Marcus Roberson is in perfect position. King cannot even get close to that ball.
Colin Barber on the punt. Dubose right at the 50-yard line.
Remember, Florida's only trailed once in the fourth quarter this year, and going into the fourth quarter, and that was to A&M the first game, 17-13. And, of course, they ended up winning the game 2017.
Barber. And that takes a favorable Florida bounce. Out of bounds. A 34-yard punt. Gators are undefeated. Georgia's lost only one. Florida has the ball when we return. Back in Jacksonville after the short punt. Gators have it at the 43. Jeff Driscoll, when we met with him a month or so ago, what is your biggest attribute? He said probably my running ability.
Yeah, so far he's come up with the big runs in the fourth quarter to win these football games, or at least put them away. Even a short run against LSU got the first down to keep it going, and then against Vanderbilt, this, what was it, 77-yarder to kind of seal it. He's a 4'5", 40 guy, and right now he's living more with his legs than his arm. One of the things that I question is, how can they get the ball to their tight end? Jordan Reed is the matchup that has been working for him. Can they find number 11?
He's in the slot.
He catch it. That's the play. There's the play. Remember, we pointed that out early in the game? That Brent Peace had to put that back of his mind, that this was eventually going to come out. Fake the zone read and keep it. Same guy over here, number 83. Cornelius Washington does the same thing. And Driscoll comes out with his legs to make a big first down play.
That is a gain of 20.
And, of course, we follow it up with too many men in the huddle. Or at least they're going to count it that way. Let's see if they do. Yep. 12 men in the huddle.
Yard penalty. 12 men in the huddle for more than 3 seconds. First down.
Florida changes their packages of personnel nearly every play. And everybody has to look to the sideline and know what package is coming in. And they name them, like Panther or Jet or, Rocket. They each one has a name, and everybody has to be aware of it.
Keep going.
That's all I got. Not our airplanes.
So it's 1st and 15. Gillislee is the running back. Play fake. Driscoll in trouble. And down. And guess who?
I don't have to guess.
Jarvis Jones. Ogletree might have gotten there first. And then Jarvis Jones having a terrific afternoon.
Yeah, and I think Jarvis Jones beating Xavier Nixon that time actually saved the touchdown, because I think Florida had a guy deep for a touchdown on that one. I think it was Jordan Reed. I'm not exactly sure. But he was right down the seam, wide open.
Lost 9, 2nd down, 24.
So after a big first down run, Florida follows with too many men in the huddle and a sack. Kind of the story of the game, hasn't it been?
Oh, my gosh, yes. Driscoll, Hensey lets it go. Incomplete. 3rd and 24. That was John Jenkins.
It was Jordan Reed that was open on the previous play with the sack. Watch Reed break open right down the middle of the field for an easy touchdown. Covered by a linebacker, beat him by 5 yards. Jarvis Jones saved the touchdown.
3rd and 24. Caleb Sturgis' career long is 56. 51 twice this year. If they had to kick it on 4th down and no gain, it'd be 54.
And they were playing for the field goal. How about that?
Yeah.
Boy, I don't know what they're going to do here. So, you got to go field goal, don't you?
I sure think so. Let's see.
It's going to be a 51-yarder. 51 yards.
Well, they'll spot it right at the 40. John Crowfoot is the snapper. Caleb Sturgis 2 for 2 today. 50 yards. Burning?
Yep.
Yes.
Got it. Well, now we got a gut check time. We got 9 minutes for a possibility of being the SEC East champions.
3rd field goal, 50 or longer this year. Sturgis, perfect today. Mild reaction from Muscat. 10-9 Georgia with 9:41 to go. Gary, this kind of gets us set up for next week.
That'll be just about this time. We'll be in there rehearsing our open, right?
Exactly. Well, in the last 21 games, number 1 Alabama, number 6 LSU, 20-1, 19-2. They had a heavyweight match last year in Tuscaloosa. LSU won that 9-6 in overtime, but Alabama won the rematch for the BCS title. So we look forward to that. Big game tonight for the Crimson Tide. They host undefeated Mississippi State at Bryant-Denny in Tuscaloosa. Sturgis will kick off. 8th career field goal of 50 or more.
Let it go. And they do.
Right. Both teams had used the timeout, so each has 2 remaining.
Well, Vern, you know how in baseball they say, the ball always finds your weakest defender. Somehow it's going to go to that guy. In this football game, I don't think there's any way of running away from Aaron Murray. He's the storyline of the game. He's not beat a top 10 team. He's had a rough football game here with the interceptions, but I don't think they can win the football game without him. They're going to have to look at him and say, Aaron, you got to come through. We can't win without our quarterback.
Thus far in the game, 8 of 19 for 70 yards. Most significantly, however, 3 first-half interceptions.
Remember, they still have the lead 10-9. Easy throws. You don't have to force it.
Incomplete. Matt Elam, intended for Marlon Brown.
Yeah, he had him, and he had a lot of open space between them, but you know what? The receiver kind of faded on the throw. If he would have came straight across, he could have had it. What he did is allowed Matt Elam to come underneath him and make the play. He kind of rounded it.
Look at this. Leading stat for Georgia penalty yards. Most in 8 years. Draw play, Gurley driven back. Michael Taylor, number 51.
Well, the Georgia offensive line could not get to the middle linebacker on this one. And he met it head on, and that is some beautiful. That's the spot that Jelani Jenkins would be in, and Michael Taylor's doing a good job. Here it is, 3rd and long.
Georgia still looking for its first conversion. They're 0 for 10. They load up on the right side.
Florida's not had a sack in the game, but they've pressured Murray.
Play fake.
And do it again.
Dominic Easley was there to mess it up.
They're going to call holding on Easley.
Aha.
Or at least they're going to talk about it. Let's see what happens here. Not quite sure what they're going to call. I got to be honest. Easley made a great read on the play. Easley's in the middle. Let's see. He reads it.
Holding. Number 2 of the defense.
Yep.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Will result in a first down.
Easley reads the play. Does he grab Gurley? Kind of full. Yes, his arm is right there. See him grabbing it. The ball's not there yet. And the linesman makes the call. Big, big play.
Huge. Ogletree, the fullback. First down, 10. Play fake. Left side, got him. Marlon Brown is open. 15 on 15.
Yeah, he caught Purifoy in the perfect defense Mike Bobo did. You call it press bail. They start out giving the look of man-to-man, but watch Purifoy. He's actually playing zone. He bails on the play. They've got the perfect route on against the perfect defense on that one. Nice call. Nice pitch and catch.
Gain of 18, first down 10. Clock runs. 8:30 to go. Watch out. Murray gets rid of it.
Yes, he did.
Malcolm Mitchell.
And as we talked, is the same thing that Mike Bobo. Well, we got another flag after the play here.
I think so.
And Mark Rick said, out of the 5 plays called so far in this drive, 4 of them have been passes. This time, Malcolm Mitchell does something after the play again to cost his football team. He makes a great catch, and then he doesn't stop.
Unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. Number 26 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Perfect throw and catch. Clean play. Gets knocked out. And Malcolm Mitchell has to continue the play. And you see, Purifoy says right there, you're going to get it.
Ball at midfield. 10 on the play clock.
Another pass.
How about this? Good play. Marcus Roberson tips it away. Intended for Tavares King.
That's 5 out of 6 calls in this drive. They've looked at Aaron Murray and said, we can't run it with any authority. You have to come through.
I think we both expected Tavares King to have a big game tonight.
We did. I did, yes.
0 catches.
I know. That ball kind of hung on Murray, I thought, on that one. It took a long time to get there.
Second down 10. Open. Mitchell.
It's going to be incomplete. It's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, Purifoy was arguing that.
Stripped it. He did not come down cleanly. The ball was thrown accurately. Mitchell catches it, but before he gets going, it's stripped, and that might be reviewed. Was his knee down on the play? He has that ball. That could be reviewed here.
No sign of it yet.
I'm surprised.
And another attempt at a third down conversion for Georgia.
Timeout before the snap.
The previous play, the ruling was an incomplete pass. That play is under further review.
Yes. So the booth official waited till the last instant. But I do think this play deserved to be reviewed. It was clearly caught, and I believe it's very close to his knee being down before ripped out. Knees down. Was the ball moving? Was the ball moving? I thought he still had the ball in his control. I think it's down. I think that's a completed pass, and that ball will go to that yard line. Was it the 45-yard line?
Yes.
It's a 5-yard difference. Catch, control, rip, and his knees down. We'll see. Sometimes it's the philosophy of the replay official. He doesn't overturn anything unless it's obvious to 10 guys in a bar. So, Vern, I'm not saying anything.
No.
But
you know me.
in our long life, you might have spent a little more time with 10 guys in the bar, maybe.
I'm not going to miss either church services.
It would be 3rd and 5.
Again, Rocky Good is the replay official tonight.
I do like that Georgia has gone to Aaron Murray. He's had a rough football game. But they looked at him. They said, you've had 3 years of experience. Come through for us.
Still under review as far as we know. And another look at it.
Well, I've already voted once.
I know you
I don't think I get to vote again.
Early voting. Malcolm Mitchell on the left has talked enough tonight to qualify as a radio talk show host. He's been a conversation.
Apparently the replay booth does not have a flight out tonight.
Oh my goodness, 7:46 to go in this one. They're looking to confirm the call, which was incomplete, or to overturn it.
He's probably looking for the yard line too. It's taken a while. I got to believe they're going to overturn
I do too, yes. Here's Matt Moore.
After further review, the ruling is that the ball was caught. The ball will be placed at the 45-yard line, 3rd down and 5.
Got it right.
They did.
I think they did, yep. So 3rd down and 5 with 7:46 to go. Mitchell, who cost his team a 10-yard penalty for excessive celebration a moment ago.
I think it does change the strategy now for Florida. I think they'll go tight man-to-man, and they'll attack the quarterback.
Lynch, the tight end.
It's getting into be field goal range. Let's see what they do. They're going to come after the quarterback. Josh Evans right here is on his way in.
Here he comes. Murray comes near side. Caught. Malcolm Mitchell to the 20. Looks for a block. Got it. Touchdown, Georgia. When you think about this drive, culminated in a 45-yard catch by Malcolm Mitchell, don't forget the holding call on Dominic Easley on 3rd down that would have forced a punt.
Remember, out of the 8 plays or 9 plays, because some of them were called back, all but one was a pass. Now, we knew this was coming. The blitz was coming, and to the outside, Evans doesn't get there in time. It's the same call they've had before. The stop route against bump and run, 15 versus 26, and Malcolm Mitchell shows why he, as a true freshman, played a little bit of wide receiver, and then this year was counted on as being a defensive back. He's a good athlete, and he defeats the best cover guy Florida has, which is Purifoy.
And how did Aaron Murray feel about that? Boy, that makes the night shorter. Georgia gets a 45-yard touchdown catch from Malcolm Mitchell, but go back early in the drive, a big third down penalty on Dominic Easley.
3rd and 10. Remember, Florida's going to get the ball back right here. They've got this screen pass covered, but holding is called. First down. Now, it's going to be 3rd and 10 again, except a play that was ruled an incomplete pass is recalled as a 5-yard gain, and what happens, it forces Florida to play tight man-to-man coverage instead of playing a loose zone, and makes this short throw possibly to be turned into a big play. The blitz on short yardage was the call by Florida. Had to be the call. They were getting and approaching field goal range. And look at what they did. 1 run, 6 passes, even one that was overturned was a pass. They went to Aaron Murray on that drive.
Jamie Lindley kicks off. Taken by DeBose near the 6-yard line. Fighting for additional yardage and doesn't get it. Well, let's take a moment, go back to New York, and check in once again with Tim Brando.
Surprise, surprise, Vern. Arizona, the Fighting Rich Rods, get Kadeem Carrigan from 7 yards out. Go for 2 and fail. It's 32-28, over 10 minutes left in the desert. Kansas State wins big, and Florida State does the same against Duke. Back to you and Gary.
All right, Tim, thank you. And a couple of decently big games tonight in the SEC, Alabama, Mississippi State. There's a game I've been told in Norman tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Well, now, we have talked all year that sooner or later they were going to have to stop Baby and Jeff Driscoll. 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. You're down 8 points.
Right side, Jordan Reed hurdles. Knocked out of bounds. Well, Jarvis Jones missed last week's game. Still hampered with injury. Probably not 100%, but who would know?
He stopped the run game. He stopped touchdowns. He's covered the quarterback on the options. He has been all over the football field. Remember, his last sack basically saved a touchdown. Jordan Reed was wide open for a touchdown.
2nd down, 4. Trying to dive play with Gillisley. Garrison Smith, been an active player today. And Mike Gillisley looked slow getting up.
This was the zone read again, and there was nowhere for Driscoll to go but to hand this off. Defended properly this time by Washington. He does not leave Driscoll for 1 second.
Mike Gillisley helped to his feet. Young man from DeLand, Florida, took a back seat first couple of years to Jeff Demps and Chris Rainey.
Yeah, ran down on special teams, never complained.
And as he walks off, we remind you to stay tuned for the Jeep postgame show back in our New York studios. Mac Brown replaces Gillisley. Driscoll. Mac Brown with the catch. And that's good for a first down, 5:51 remaining.
Remember last year, Georgia, put the game away with a drive. At the end of it's like a 5-minute drive at the end. Florida could not get the ball back. Can they put together one of those drives? Because it's going to be in a situation now with only 2 timeouts. They might have to start thinking 4-down territory already, realizing that they have to go for 2.
First down, 10. Driscoll caught across the 50 by Jordan Reed.
Yeah, that's the mismatch. That's the one guy that Georgia will have a tough time matching up with. Do you put a defensive back on him, or do you put a linebacker on him? He's a little too fast for a linebacker, and a DB, he kind of muscles and kind of shadows away. You can't get around him.
Gain of 15, first down at the 48-yard line. That he rips that one for close to 10, maybe 11.
So Florida is answering, and now you got to know, unless it's real long yardage and they kick a field goal where they just have to do it. Brent Keese is thinking 4-down calls for a first down.
4:35 remaining. 8-point margin.
Unbalanced left.
Reed split left. Gillisley, they fake the reverse.
Very nice. Gillisley very patient that time. Power to the left, unbalanced left. Follow Alpio number 67, a great block. In the hole, fakes somebody out and makes it 2nd and short. A really nice go-for-it call here, isn't it?
See if that's what Brent Pease has in mind. They have come back to win at A&M, at Tennessee, and against LSU. They trail at the half by 1 here. They now trail by 8. It's Driscoll. Jarvis Jones chasing him.
No, he makes it. Look at that
Got
play.
the first down.
Can't teach that. So with 2nd and inches, Florida comes with a spread formation, and what does Georgia do? Safety blitz it. Gets to the outside and kind of has Jarvis Jones overrun it with a spin move inside. If you're Florida, you have to think that you don't want to put the whole game on a 2-point play. Score as fast as you can.
Wildcat, Burton is back there. Reverse. Omarius Hines gets a block on the edge. Cuts back, still loose. And he picked up a few. Clock shows 2:50 and running. Florida has 2 timeouts left. So does Georgia. Just a reminder, if the Gators win, they secure the SEC East. They go to the championship game in Atlanta. If Georgia wins, because they got a great mulligan when Florida knocked off South Carolina, they will control their own destiny. Driscoll got it. Jordan Reed fumbles into the end zone. Wow, touchback.
Well, they went to the guy I'd go to. He's the mismatch. I don't know if it was Sean Williams or Rambo that got the hit at the end of the play, but he goes to the right player. Jarvis Jones was also down there. I wonder if he might have stripped it. One missed tackle, going for the end zone. It is Jarvis Jones that strips the ball 15 yards downfield. Jarvis Jones with another winning play. I saw Sean Williams, but Jarvis Jones just showed why he's an All-American football player. What a football play.
6th Florida turnover today. And one more look at the Reed catch and the Jarvis Jones forced fumble.
Well, he's got a good matchup. He's got Jordan Reed on an inside linebacker. Good throw. You can't fault anything here. You got your best player with the football, and their best player makes a better play.
Time call by Florida. We'll be right back. We mentioned back in the first half, this has been a game of emotion.
That's Jordan Reed right there. Got tears welled up. He worked 364 days for a game like this. You beg for the football, and that guy right there made a play. Sometimes you have to tip your hat, and Jarvis Jones never gave up on that play.
Let's go back to 88-89. Georgia winning back-to-back. They won last year, of course. They actually won 3 in a row. 87, 88, 89, and Florida.
Yep, now
there's a flag. Something new for us tonight.
Well, this is, you know, because Florida had 2 timeouts. They were going to get the ball back with a minute to go. Oh, a face mask penalty, which changes the whole dynamic here.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 44, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Will Muschamp is ready to call a timeout there, force a 3rd down play, and the face mask. Its penalties and turnovers have cost Florida their chance to be SEC, at least play in the SEC championship.
Leon Orr guilty of the infraction number 44.
One hit.
Must be the wrestling match on top. 1:38 to go. Gurley caught and dropped. Final timeout called by the Gators. Over the years, 66. Georgia knocked off 7th-ranked Florida. Many remember 85 when Florida was number 1. Georgia won that 24-3. 1997, Georgia won at 37-17. And in 2007, Well, I'd go back to your comment about Aaron Murray. You said with the game on the line,
had to go to
they had to go to Murray, and he did come through. Now, they got a couple of breaks. That holding call on Dominic Beasley on 3rd and 10. Here's Murray.
Now Georgia can take a knee and finish this game off. And another flag. How about the confidence in handing it to a true freshman running back when the only thing that can lose the game is a turnover?
Right.
A dead ball personal foul, number 22 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Right over here, here's Elam. Let's see what happens. Yeah, shove. It always happens that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, coaches know it. It's over. They're going to take a knee, banging on the glass.
Been a long way from Columbia, South Carolina, hasn't it?
And for Florida to get a shot at the SEC East representative, Georgia will have to lose to either a much improved Ole Miss team or on the road to an Auburn team. They need help.
There's the knee taken by Aaron Murray. Well, if you like the color yellow, this had to be your night. Georgia 14 penalties, Florida with 10.
And it's tough. You know, anybody that's competed has felt like that once in their career. Imagine the emotion. Best player on your team has the ball and thinks he's going to make a touchdown, hands over the turnover. Will Muschamp 0-6 in this series.
The final. On 3rd and 5, Aaron Murray finds Malcolm Mitchell. Broken tackle by Purefoy. Missed tackle, rather. Nice run into the end zone.
And remember, the booth review made that play possible.
Aaron Murray has climbed into the stands. Let's take a look at the player of the game presented by Russell Athletic.
And no doubt about this one.
Another huge game for Jones, and he's with Tracy Wilson.
That's right. We're here with a defensive star because your offensive star is in the stands right now celebrating. Sean Williams had a lot to say this week about your defense. How much did that inspire you guys tonight?
He challenged us as his brothers. He challenged us as men, you know, and for us to be his brother and us to be men, you know. I mean, for a man, when somebody challenges you, especially another man, you got to step up and, you know, and play to your level. I feel like we got a great team. We got a great coaching staff, and we was capable of playing this way all year. You know, and Sean saying what he had to say, he definitely sparked us and gave us the edge tonight to come out here and just give everything we got. And I look forward for us to play like this for the rest of the year.
Congratulations. Good luck. Vern?
Nice scene. Xander Ogletree. And now it's time for the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. With the call, here is Scott Howard of the Georgia Radio Network.
Driscoll's back at quarterback in the shotgun. Here comes pressure everywhere. They throw it. It's caught at the 15. Breaks the tackle 10. 5. They lost the ball. It's in the end zone. And we fall on it. Touchback. The Dogs recovered it. Sanders Cummings. They coughed up the ball inside the 5. It went bouncing into the end zone.
At the end of the game, Will Muschamp, who played collegiately for the Georgia Bulldogs, now the second-year head coach at Florida, with a congratulatory hug for Jarvis Jones.
Yeah, that's mutual respect right there.
Mark Richt, John Jenkins. Well, the finish was unforgettable. 17-9, Georgia keeps its hopes alive for a return appearance to the SEC Championship. The Chief Postgame Show is up next after these messages and a word from your local stations.